I'm ready.
Hey, everybody. This is Court Addict with ATX Alli. Hey, Alli, how are you doing?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing pretty good. I had last 2 nights off. Last night was our monthly, there's a local authentic Italian restaurant that we go to. And the first night that we went there, it's this little hole in the wall. The first night we went there was the first night that a new owner had taken over. And so we were his first customers, like his first official customers. And he did this monthly wine dinner. He started this monthly wine dinner where you get 4 courses. It's a prefixed menu, 4 courses, 4 wine pairings to go with each course, and there's a theme that changes every month. And this was our, I think, 19th consecutive wine dinner. We haven't ever missed one ever since we started going. And so it's really fun. It's the only place I take pictures of food. I am not a food picture taker ever, but I do take pictures of food on this particular night, and it was fantastic. So we had a great night. We get to hang out with friends, and they always have to sit an extra seat at our table because the owner and then the hostess and then the psalm will come over and sit with us and chit chat with us and eat with us and drink with us. And so it's kind of fun. We're kind of the cool kids table, so it's really fun. We love the restaurant. It's our favorite place to go. So it was a good night.
What kind of dog is that?
My dog. Okay, so we don't know. So we call her Pooker Bear. Her name is Lana, but we call her Pooker Bear. I don't know why. So when anybody asks her what she is, we say that she's a North American Pooker Bear. However, we think truly that she is half short-haired border collie and half pit bull. That's what we honestly think she is, but we haven't done a DNA test or anything. We really want to, though. That'd be cool.
So maybe I missed it. What kind of dog is it?
We think she's short-haired border collie and pit bull mix.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. She's kind of a mess of a dog then.
Yeah, I don't honestly know what she is, but if you Google that mix, like pictures of her come up, so it kind of makes sense. But I just found her; she was a stray. She was wandering the street at like 10, 11 weeks old. She was a tiny, teeny, tiny puppy, and so she came up bounding up to me like, "Hi, you want to take me home?" And so I scooped her up and took her door to door, saying, "Whose lost puppy is this?" And nobody knew whose dog it was. One lady said that she had seen her the previous day running around too, so she had obviously been out overnight. And I posted flyers and went on Craigslist and Nextdoor and Facebook and every place to see if anybody lost a puppy, and nobody claimed her. And now she's mine. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm so personal about my dog. I just love my dog to death. And then whenever my daughter ended up with a cat, now we realize the cat has a personality, and I'm like, well, that's odd. I've never dealt with a cat that wasn't around other cats, and this cat's not around. It doesn't act like what I would typically think a cat acts like.
Right.
And I've always been a dog person, and so now whenever I'm holding the cat, I'm like, I feel like I'm betraying something.
Yeah, I have both. I have cats and dogs. The cats aren't attached to me because one of the cats is mine. However, I left it in Oregon when I moved to Texas, and it's been with my parents ever since. So now my parents live here with their cat and our old cat, which basically is their cat. And they live here now. So technically that's my cat, but it's really theirs.
Okay, all right, we'll get that. So we got some looks like body worn camera videos for you tonight.
Yeah, I pulled a couple different videos that I saw that are kind of drug related that I thought maybe you guys would be interested in me yelling about. So I don't know. Sounds fun.
All right, and then we've got one from Miss Fields' Court of Public Opinion. We're gonna play one of her videos and pick it apart with Judge Boyd. But let's jump into I think it's Columbus Body Camera. Hey, look, these videos are not ours, so make sure to go check out the channel. It says the description of the channel at the beginning. Check them out, like and subscribe them and stuff. I don't want to steal their videos. If anything else, I just want to promote them. So here we go with that.
Absolutely.
How much did he use? Don't lie to me. This isn't alcohol.
I swear on everything I know.
Girl, he's ODing. Why are you lying?
Can't hear you over the music. Now we can probably hear you. Couldn't hear you over the music.
Okay, yeah, Columbus Body Camera. Go check them out. Give them a like and subscribe. Be nice to them. They put work into their stuff. And behind their faces is just a bunch of words. It doesn't really matter what it says.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I watch a lot of their stuff. They put together really, really good stuff. So I highly recommend their channel.
I don't like body camera videos. They hit too close to home.
That's what got me into court. That was my gateway drug to court. So.
Hey, bub.
But let's see. I live
Did he take something?
And so since I live in Florida, that's all.
Okay.
That's all you see. Yeah.
Did he take something?
We were just drinking.
Okay. Why not to send the medic on in? He's not waking up.
No, these are serious ones, Brecken.
Everybody get away from me. Get on the sidewalk. Wake up, bub. Hey, if I said that any nicer, I would have killed you with kindness.
You don't gotta hit me with your flashlight.
If you want me to hit with my flashlight, I will. Wake up, boss. I know. All right, I can only do one thing at a time. You guys want to grab Narcan?
204, and I'll circulate to that 55. I'll be patrol code 1 victim.
Yeah, I think he's definitely overdosing.
Oh, 100%.
How much did he use? Don't lie to me. This isn't alcohol.
I swear on everything I know.
Girl, he's ODing. Why are you lying?
I swear.
So
Is this your boyfriend?
Yes.
You're gonna sit here and let him die? Because
All right.
So during the pandemic, we were caught in between housing, so we had to live in an extended stay hotel for like 2.5 years. That's actually where I got clean. One day I was out walking my dog and I came across this exact situation where I saw a guy in the driver's seat and his girlfriend freaking out over on top of him, trying to wake him up, slapping him in the face, crying, screaming, being hysterical. So I go up to her and I'm like, "Hey, are you okay?" She's like, "Oh yeah, he's fine. He's just really tired and resting." And I just looked straight at her and I was like, "I have Narcan. Do you need Narcan?" She was like, "Yes, I do, please." So I ran to someone who was outside smoking and I was like, "Please call 911. I have to run upstairs and get Narcan. There's a guy over there ODing." And I ran upstairs and got my Narcan and ran downstairs. When I came downstairs, the lady I told to dial 911 was standing over these people on the phone with 911, like, "Yeah, he's ODing right here." And the chick was like, "No, he's not. No, he's not. Get away from us. Get away from us." And I was like, "Dude, that's not what I wanted you to do. I didn't need you to go over there. I just needed you to call 911. So they freaked out and she like basically like picked him up and he kind of came to and she like drug him into the hotel. I gave her the Narcan and they disappeared into the hotel and I didn't know what room they went into. And then paramedics came and I met him outside and I was like, "I don't know where they went. They're inside the hotel." He at least walked out. I gave him Narcan. They didn't use it that I saw. And they're like, "Cool." And they rolled out. But that really made me mad.
So with Narcan being as available as it is, and as you can't hurt yourself with Narcan. Like let's say right now, if I took Narcan, it's not gonna hurt me. It's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna make me high. It's not
Right.
gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything silly.
Right.
Okay.
That's correct.
Well, so let's say in this situation or the situation that you got where the chick didn't want him to get Narcan. What is?
Well, it wasn't that she didn't want Narcan. She did, but she didn't want the police called. She didn't want, and I didn't want the chick to like necessarily go over there and call the police right in front of them. I just wanted the paramedics on their way, and hopefully by the time I got down there and the Narcan was on board or whatever, the paramedics would roll up without them even knowing. But because she went over and was like lording over them, and she's like, "Yeah," she's like slapping him in the face, and she just kept yelling at the lady on the phone, like, "No, he's not. He's fine. Go away. Mind your own business. Like, you don't know what you're talking about." So that kind of spoiled things.
You know what? Jay from Michigan just mentioned something. Like I was saying, I never like these body camera videos because it hits too close to home.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in law enforcement. Never cared to. Never wanted to. That's not the friendly side of the street for me. But I have worked on an ambulance and I did it for years, and that makes a difference. I don't recall the time working on an ambulance as being traumatic to me or being a bad time. I really enjoyed it. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd go back to it because in the end it was a fulfilling job. It certainly didn't pay the bills though. You know and that's why I had to leave it. It just wasn't paying enough. But
Right.
maybe that's kind of the source behind not liking it. You know, when you get to see the families, you know, like this guy right here, he doesn't mind right now what's going on. He's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, to see the mother show up or the father show up to the scene, and to
Mm-hmm.
see that, you know, it kind of, you know what I'm saying? It kind of crushes you to see, you know, the 13-year-old kid sitting in the back seat, the 8-year-old kid in the back seat. And, you know, whenever I was a kid, you know, you'd hear about kids 8, 9, 10 driving the dad home from the bar because the dad's drunk at the bar.
Right.
And, you know, that's back in the country. That's back when, you know, if you go off the side of the road, you just ended up in a cow field and you're okay. And so,
Yeah, that's different. You're not in somebody's house or in somebody else's car.
yeah.
Patricia, I just wanted to correct you. Fentanyl, you can reverse the effects of fentanyl with Narcan. It often takes a lot more depending on how much fentanyl you've taken, but Narcan is what reverses the effects of fentanyl, ODs, or uh, like Oxy, things like that. What it doesn't reverse like Xanax. It doesn't reverse um, any type of benzos. It doesn't reverse. There's a new drug that's really popular in Philadelphia and down in Florida, and it's cut with xylazine. That's what the new drug is, and Narcan has no effect on that whatsoever. And that drug is so nefarious that instead of going through withdrawals like after 12 hours of not dosing, you start withdrawing after 30 minutes
What's the name of the
with this
drug?
stuff. The name of the drug, the opioid, is xylazine. The street name for the drug is like I think down in Florida it's croc. Is it croc?
No,
I
those
want
are
to say it's
alligators.
croc.
Those are alligators. It's an animal.
No, this is different. It's called like croc, like KROK.
Oh,
And
crack,
then God,
maybe?
what's this? No, it's literally like KROK, and it like eats through your skin. It's a horrible disease. Like you have to amputate like limbs because of it. It's
I'm
awful.
looking up croc drug. It says desomorphine.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Drug with a nasty bite. Um, oh, they're being smartasses. It says a case of crocodile. They're making fun of it. So,
Yeah, it's
no,
like
no,
I
hell,
mean the
no,
people
the
you
damn the medicine's called the medicine's called desomorphine. It's an injectable opioid derivative that's associated with severe derma.
dermatological.
Yeah, I'm not that educated.
Okay.
But yeah, they're calling it crocodile. You know,
Yeah.
that would be some Florida stuff for us to be doing. That's great. We come up good. We can get credit with that.
Yeah, I reckon it's
So
xylazine.
yeah,
Exactly.
yes. And so, like Jay from Michigan says, like the plastic shoes. Embarrassed for anyone who does it.
Yeah, it's awful, and that stuff Narcan doesn't touch. But luckily, it does reverse fentanyl. But if you are a fentanyl addict and you take a lot of it can take a lot of Narcan to bring you back. So that's the problem. Is sometimes you only have 1 or 2 doses on you of Narcan. Like I think I have 4 doses total spread throughout my car, my purse, my house, just for whatever reason. I always try to have some on me. Because you never know. It's seriously, that's a matter of life and death, and it doesn't cost me anything to keep it with me at all times.
These new drugs that come out, I was wondering if it's just because it's cheaper, just something that someone figured out.
Hmm.
But I keep thinking about like with meth and stuff, where like people are mixing car battery or battery acid and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
My brain can't wrap around the idea of, hey, this looks like it'll kill you. Let's try it.
yeah, yeah. That's
And
bad.
so yeah,
All right, let's go ahead and continue the video.
hold on. Metal Rabbit was right. Metal
What?
Rabbit was right. It was initially introduced in Russia. It's an
Yeah, I
injectable,
remember
highly
that. I
addictive
remember that.
substitute for heroin,
Hmm.
and it is, and so it's derived from crocodile, which is crocodile in Russian, refers to the scaly green-black skin discoloration frequently noted by its users.
Oh yeah, Trank. That's right. That's what it's called. In Philadelphia, it's massively popular in Philadelphia. There are people that do like drug tourism down there, where they go down there and they shoot just video of people being high on the streets of Kensington, Philadelphia, and you can watch hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos on it. where people go down there and just film these people who are high out of their minds. It's insane.
I was gonna say Lena's typed it up pretty good, so she probably knows about that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a fella in the chat. I'm gonna have to call him Krills because I'm not got a hell of a last name.
Yeah, no, not happening. But yeah, that's where Trank. That's what it's called. I know in Philadelphia, and that's the laced with the xylazine and doesn't have Narcan has no effect on it. They have no way to reverse it, and you need it every 30 minutes. You start going through withdrawals after like 30 minutes, which is insane to me. I couldn't imagine doing that. I hated going into withdrawals after 12 hours. I couldn't imagine having to dose every 30 minutes. You'd never sleep ever.
Well,
when would you sleep?
I don't think the goal when you're on that stuff is to sleep. I think the goal is to keep it up.
Not necessarily. Like I didn't necessarily not. I wasn't into uppers. I wasn't into staying up all the time. Like I don't think a lot of opioid addicts are very into staying up. Like it's more of a kind of sleepy feeling we like. So
I have a great luxury.
I don't know.
I don't need anything to help me sleep.
Yeah, it's
all
awful.
All I need is the time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump on this and see what we got here.
Okay, cool.
You're lying to us about what he took?
If I knew, I really...
No, you know goddamn well.
You did. That's not good. Dude, don't let him die.
Look at boss.
Look up, bro. Huh? Nah, it's no me and me.
194, you can add 10 tag, lane 454 401 is the fault.
He's ready for you. Right here, back seat.
You pat him down already?
No.
Pat him down quick.
I'll work on it. Just...
Well, you ain't got a car, all cars.
Alright.
194, Narcan administered. Narcan administered.
Got to bring her home. She's saying that
Look up, boss.
I'm like, great, now I lost one molly car I got. And my girl's fucked up. Huh? I know. Houston cars.
150, second.
What's his name? What? Dwayne. Look up, boss. Yeah, he's not gonna wake up.
Come on, bro. Guys, just roll back.
Yeah.
The pulse.
Yeah. Had one a second ago.
I can see his neck.
I'm not feeling.
Yeah, he still got one.
There he goes. Hey, Dwayne. Wake up, boss. Hey, buddy.
I did.
When I did you make sure Fire had the updated location?
I did. They're supposed to be coming back out.
Have you seen this one, Alli?
You have the tag and all that, right?
Here.
Probably at some point I have.
I know.
I'm talking about this video.
Hmm?
I'm talking about
How long is it?
Have you seen this video?
No idea why.
I may have, but it may have been a long time ago.
I just want to make sure we're not.
Yeah, I hear him. Look up, boss.
153 and 6 with the 43A.
No, that wouldn't be the case. If that was the case, they'd blur out his face.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I would never do that. I don't think that that's. I'm not okay with that.
Hey, we gave him some Narcan already. He's not responding.
Okay.
Fairly weak pulse.
Tell him tell the guy come grab the
All right.
Yeah, we're good 4. Clear 15. We'll take care of 438.
Are you grabbing the? We hit him with Narcan once and he's not responding yet. So
What's that?
we gave him 1 dose of Narcan. He's not responding.
Okay.
He was saying grab the orange kit and the gray kit. You want to grab the other one for you?
Someone had mentioned the sternum rubs, said that they look painful. Yeah, Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've done the sternum rubs with people before, and you feel like such a jerk doing it.
It hurts.
Yeah, but you're doing it because you're trying to get that involuntary reaction. You're trying to, tell the brain to wake up. But you just feel like such a jerk because the person. The person's overdosing or they're in a struggle or something's horrible going on with them. And you're having to do that. It's kind of a mechanical thing versus a bullying thing.
Right.
But yeah. Well, and Jane's talking about rub the chest, don't stop. Yeah. If you're rubbing it, if you're doing the sternum rub, you can break bones. You can really cause some damage. So you gotta kind of be very, very direct with it, and and to cover your ass also, you better document it well, because
But look, I also saw Idaho just said too, if someone dies because their friends or family didn't tell emergency services, can they be charged? Didn't you guys just watch that with Judge Boyd the other day? Or was it Judge Boyd trial? It was some trial where a girl, or a sentencing. It was a sentencing where her husband died.
Yeah, that
Remember?
was Judge Ricky.
Yeah, right. That's right, Judge Ricky's, and that was kind of that same situation, wasn't it? Where she didn't call. She was just like didn't call anybody, and he ended up dying, and so she was getting charged for manslaughter, wasn't she?
Yeah, I believe so. And
It was something like that. Yeah. So it happens.
Yeah, and so and it's like Brecken's saying, her daughter's sternum is broken. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an odd spot, and if the person's older, the bones get more brittle with age, and then you've got, you don't know that person's medical history before. That person could have had an injury, or that person who could have had surgery. They could have had their chest broke open in surgery, and they'll never be right. And you just in the end, this guy here, of course, we're watching it because it was a drug issue, but diabetic stuff and other medical issues, also pop up, and they present themselves a lot like that sometimes. I'm not trying to begin to act like I know what I'm talking about, but you just got this guy here, Bob, doesn't know Tom that's passed out in the car, and his goal is to help the guy, not to hurt him, and so in the end, it's a mess.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe. Whenever I did it, the only thing we did was I followed the rule book. I literally went through the steps. I did not try to think outside the box, and I'm a CYA kind of guy, and so I'm always going to try to cover my ass and make sure that I'm not going outside the rules, because I mess up if I go outside the rules. I go way outside the rules. And you see Judge Oakley likes to he likes to skirt around it, but he's professional and thoughtful enough to where he knows it and he's got that part figured out. And so thank you, KK.
Thank you so much, KK.
Thank you for coming in also. You're great. And everybody, we're gonna have a talk with KK. She does a great podcast. I'm bad with links, so I don't have the link for you. Maybe KK can throw it up there, but she's got a really good podcast that talks about how to handle grief and It's
Yeah,
good.
definitely. Throw your link up there, KK, so
It's kind
everybody
of
can check it out.
it's an odd subject. Nobody wants to listen to something like that, but I was listening to it, and I got to, both of my parents are passed away, and I got to really start to think about some of the things and how I process stuff, and so it was good to listen to it. Like I said, it's not something that you just wake up in the morning going, "Hey, this is the podcast I want to listen to," but it ends
Hmm.
up being the podcast you need to listen to.
Right.
And so, and she's got a great voice, and she presents it really well, and so it's, in the end, I feel like, listening to her podcast, I feel like we got celebrity in the in the group, listening to her.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I still haven't listened to it though. I listened to last night. I ended up listening to the Judge Simpson hearing, and then I regretted that decision because I immediately got pissed off and didn't fall asleep. So it
Yeah,
didn't work out so well.
yeah. Well, Brecken, I wish the best for her. She, that's going to carry her up for the rest of her life. So that's going to be there.
Hmm.
I can't pin the comment. Something's going. YouTube's acting kooky. I'm on a different program than YouTube doing this, and so I can't pin the
Hmm.
comment. But I'm going to show it up here, and I'll throw it up again at the end of the show.
Okay.
And so,
Sounds good. See if I can pin it.
yeah, Idaho, make sure to go and check
Can I
it
pin it?
out.
No, I can't pin it.
And maybe we can get up a forum, and maybe we can kind of get up together and understand it. And hey, yesterday evening, Judge Simpson had a really great hearing. He had a really great probable cause hearing, and it was pure disgusting the way the defense attorney acted.
Oh my God. I thought you guys were like, I mean, I knew you guys were talking shit about it. And I was like, yeah. And at the end, caught the last 20 minutes. And from the last 20 minutes, I was like, yeah, he's definitely kind of, a slimy dude. And then I listened from the beginning and I was like, I hate this guy with every fiber of my being.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was so mad.
I thought about putting it out as a video, and I thought about using it on the stream, but
Right.
I have a big, everyone has the right to face their accuser, but I really have a big issue with a woman in court having to relive a rape in order to fulfill that right for the accuser. To me it feels like he gets an opportunity to rape her again.
Yeah, it was so disgusting. And guys, it made people in Discord so hot that Nan dropped the F bomb.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with you, I do have all of that. As sound bites in my machine.
It was so great. So, Nan, it's almost your birthday. You got a couple more hours. It's almost your birthday. I'm so excited.
Whose birthday?
It's Nan's birthday tomorrow.
Nan.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She's a Halloween baby.
So we've got another one that's going to be 29.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
She finally turned 29 to catch up with me because I turned 29 last off on Friday. So, yeah.
Yep. ATX Alli told you to leave and you didn't listen.
I know, right? I know. I listened. Because you have to go to the beginning of the hearing. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll put it on and I'll drift off to sleep. 5 minutes in, and I'm just like seething mad, not sleeping at all. Like it wasn't until like an hour and a half in, I finally did drift off. But I finished it this morning.
I know what it was. You were dreaming about timing out Brecken.
I know everybody, because I put the PSAs out. Everybody thinks I'm the timer outer of people. I am not the timer outer of people. I don't. I think I've done it like 3 times in the entire time I've been a mod, but apparently everybody thinks I'm the big bad one, which is fine. I don't care. That's cool.
And Jane, I agree with you. Jane saying don't stream it. It kind of feels like some should experience that. I agree. I don't. It was uncomfortable to watch it. It was important to learn about the process and understand it. But I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad that she had to relive it. And let's just take the worst advocate. Let's just say she's absolutely, completely lying about everything. Let's just say she's a complete lunatic. She's still a broken person from that event. Whether she's making it up or whether it absolutely happened. And I believe it happened. I believe she's very credible. Idaho.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it didn't even matter. Even if everything he brought up was true, even if that were true, which I did not believe whatsoever, and that gave him absolutely no right to do what he did to her.
No,
Like, I don't
no.
understand what it pointing any of that shit out was, and that was what was infuriating. It's like, it doesn't matter if she flirted with you. It doesn't matter if she led you on for a long time. It doesn't matter if she, like, you were talking about paying for sex. She said no right then. Period. Like, it wasn't like, okay, I've given you consent, and then you got it. Oh my god, no, all of it. I was pissed. Sorry,
Yeah,
no.
it's and that's why, like, Jane said, it was better to kind of watch, just watch by yourself on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought about, and I thought about it. In the end, there's enough good content that's educational and entertaining without having to relive that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And
it but it
Saffron,
did.
to catch you up, the last 5 minutes of it, or the last at the end, he originally had his bond. The state requested an original bond of $250. He was let out on bond at a $25,000 bond. They wanted to renegotiate bond, and and Judge Simpson laughed at him and then raised it to what, 500,000, and took him revoked bond and took him into custody. It was great. It was so great. Loved it. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to tell her.
No,
I'm so
no,
sorry. I
no.
totally stepped on you.
I was trying to catch up with Chad and Idaho. That's fine that you didn't find her credible. That's the wonderful thing
Yeah.
about our court system, is that you can watch that. And I did. But in the end, I'm just overly sympathetic towards that. In the end, I'm going to be 90% on her side. But
Mhm.
in the end, I think it is very dangerous for a female to be around a male. I think it's very dangerous for a female to be around a male intoxicated. I think it's very dangerous for a female to be around a male intoxicated and passed out. I think there's a world of things that went wrong. But what I don't ever do is I don't want to ever blame a victim for anything. And I have the luxury that I don't have to be the judge in that. I have the luxury that I just get to talk about it, and I just get to get it over. But it was just a horrible thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on from there. Let's move on to something happier, like someone passed out and overdosing.
Yeah, sounds good.
And so thank you guys so much for the comments. Like I said, my YouTube's not working. There's a YouTube studio for lives, and it's telling me something went wrong, and it's got a monkey with a hammer, and so I'm not able to
that's not good.
be in the chat, but I can pull it up on the screen. So we're gonna jump back into this one.
Okay, good.
So 34, Summerlin, Harper Village.
Work up here?
Yeah. Stop light on ready. She's in row.
Nope.
Go. Wait. Sergeant, I copy the prior work runs there, so what do you?
Hey, sir, can you stay over on the sidewalk, please?
All
right, we'll get to your questions when we can.
So stand back over on the sidewalk. Grab me a bag valve mask and O2 bottle.
I'm coming up code 4. I will start for that 34 as well. Go. 84. 84. 2 Victor, you can send this Glenwood. 34, 381 Glenwood.
DJ,
151.
back to your front. DJ, is that Monte Carlo yours? Damn, they back.
Give me one, Adam. Get the pad, beat my 34.
That is my board. You want to? Good. Yeah, I'm good with that.
You want in?
No, you're good.
All right.
We're just gonna bag him up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is anybody else hurt?
No.
Or
Just him and his girlfriend were in the car, and then they hit these parked
you
cars.
okay? What'd he take? You know him? What'd he take? Huh? Okay. You didn't do any heroin, fentanyl, anything?
She might not know if he took something too. She might just have been out drinking with him and not know that he took something. So she might not be lying. She might just be ignorant.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Bill.
Did you guys do
muted,
some
I just
powder?
can't hear you. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
For some reason I thought I'd talk over the movie, but anyways, no, she could be just drunk. You know, she could be legally drunk, legally intoxicated, and simply don't remember anything that he did, or just
or just not know. Like they could have gone out to a bar. Like I mean, there's plenty of times I went out to a bar with my husband and he was drinking and I was getting high in the bathroom and he never knew. So I mean, she could totally be ignorant. I'm just saying, she really might not be lying. She just might be ignorant. She might think this is alcohol and just not know any better. But this is definitely not alcohol.
Watching this stuff lets me know how boring my life was.
Right.
All right.
Right though. This is not alcohol. Did you guys do a couple lines of powder together, or did he do some? Well, he did.
Breath picking up. Your breathing picking up, bro.
A little bit.
You're good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Just try to bag him whenever he takes a breath. Let's just pick up a little bit. There we go. Any good breaths?
Yeah, see, it looks like they did fentanyl. They found fentanyl. Took a white powder, not knowing. Yep. That happens in bars. There's lots of coke around bars, and coke is often now laced with fentanyl for some unknown reason. So he might not even have known what he took.
Dwayne, wake up. How much did you have drink tonight?
98.
Okay.
Code 4, send us 17B. Stop taking. 9192, 13 Victor.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned about now that they need to mask up. Yeah, I remember it's been a year or two ago since the last one I saw where police officers were dying because they were searching people and coming out with fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when you use it, you build up a tolerance to it. But if you don't use it, rubbing it on your hand is enough to make you a goner.
Yeah, there are plenty of videos of cops coming in contact with inadvertently, even with like gloves on, like it just like got hit by the wind and it happened to land right in their nostril, and they just like pass out like a ton of bricks, and they have to be revived by Narcan because it's dangerous shit. But yeah, you can have a tolerance to it. That's why you can take a lot of fentanyl, and that's why a lot of Narcan. You have to get a lot of Narcan in order to bring them back. And yeah, fentanyl is super cheap. That's why they're lacing it in everything, because it gets them addicted. It gets them high. It's super cheap to put in. So why wouldn't you cut your cocaine in it? Because if they're going to get even more hooked on your cocaine because of the fentanyl, they're going to keep buying your shit. So why not?
Yeah, but it just seems to me like well, I guess you can't cover for everything, because I was going to say, it seems like if you're a police officer and you know that's what you're going to deal with, you wouldn't even go up to somebody without a mask or without gloves on.
Mm-hmm. And Jane, yeah, absolutely. anyone ODing accidentally? Yeah, absolutely. People are thinking that they're getting coke and doing a line of coke, and it's got fentanyl in it, and then they just keel over because they had no idea it had fentanyl in it. Just probably like this guy that might have. It sounds like that is exactly what have happened here, because he says he snorted a white powder. He probably thought it was coke because he was drinking. I know so many people who drink and then they're like, oh, I'll just do a bump of coke and then I'll be good to drive. Um, and that's what he thought he had. It had fentanyl in it. And now he's ODing. So absolutely,
Hey,
people OD accidentally.
hey, my homie Jane's calling you out. Something about, is that
But
true? Not being poop face, but really anyone
yeah, that's
ODing
what I'm.
accident?
Yeah, that's what I was just referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they don't know that that's what's in it. So this guy probably thought he was doing a bump of coke so he could be awake enough to drive himself sober-ishly home, and it was laced with fentanyl, and now he's ODing. And the chick in the car has no idea what the fuck's going on because she didn't have any idea that any of this was going on. He was just drinking with her.
Yeah, yeah. It's a mess. I'm gonna hit play. Try to get through it.
Huh? What's that? He's finding the owners of the other cars. He's up there somewhere.
That's 191, 150. You can copy. Your car's going to be code for it.
That was our last. That was our last.
191, I got it.
That was Leonard. That was Leonard's really on the last. His eyes were gone.
192. Is there any 35 special night?
Area 35 special, sir.
Alright. I'm gonna get the cop.
With more budget. Engine 26 responded. He refused any.
Hey!
Alright?
We got you, bud. Dwayne, right?
Wayne.
Hey, bud, wake up.
9080, we also need 24 for chest pain.
Wake up, bub. He's still not quite with it, huh?
Waking up?
No, he's pushing the things away, but he's not. Super tacky. Hey, buddy. Hey, look over here.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
Is it Dwayne?
Victor.
Yeah, Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne, sit up, buddy. You hurt anywhere? Dwayne. Huh? Oh. You wrecked your car, buddy. We're gonna take you over to the hospital. Come on.
Alright, 108. If anywhere else could clear up.
You sit up?
You've got to be in a 1435.
Hey, give me your arm, buddy.
Burgess, Department E, boy.
Come on, bud.
26. Now they're saying,
Come on. Come on, Dwayne.
no, Stephen, they're saying they
on,
14,
sit
the
up.
person who was 26 and with,
Come on.
he was walking to his car,
Can you get up for
Good.
me?
said he stepped with the knife that was in the kitchen.
There are power seats. Hey, Dwayne. Here. It's right there.
There you go.
See how powerful it is.
That might be a copy for me on
Come on, Dwayne.
9192, I'm in route.
Imagine waking up with that. Did you ever have any fun incidents like that where you overdosed or anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I had one where I woke up on the floor of a Walmart bathroom because I scored and then I went immediately to the Walmart bathroom to get high. And it was really, really powerful stuff. And I woke up like, I have no idea how much time elapsed. And I woke up on the floor and I was so scared that somebody found me and had called the cops. So I like got out of there so fast. And as I was like leaving, I was like looking around, just like thinking that cops were going to come swarming in. Like, I don't know why I thought that, but I was so terrified that I'd been reported and that they had called somebody and somebody was going to come in and be like, no, 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 you're not going anywhere. So, but that didn't happen. That's happened. That's happened a couple of times in various bathrooms or dressing rooms of various stores.
So
I probably say 4 or 5, but I came out of it. I didn't. I came out of it on my own. Nobody had to revive me.
Well,
So that is a difference.
it's just good to know who that
That's a
was in
huge
the.
difference.
It's just good to know who that was in Walmart. You know that we always talk about it. It's always the rumor of the town, but so it was you at
Mhm.
Walmart.
Yeah, it was me. That was me.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never had to be revived. Well, no, I've had to be revived one time, but it wasn't with Narcan. And that was the time that my husband found me, and that's how he found out. And then I was in treatment from there on out. So that was the last time.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing that stuff. You know, Jane had mentioned that. Thanks for sharing. You know, it's insightful when somebody can actually talk about that stuff because
Yeah.
you know in the end it's so dang personal. It's so you know in the end it's nothing you ever want to be proud of and it's something you normally wouldn't even want to talk about. And so getting to you know we all know you and love you, but to get to know the craziness of your world, you know, for me it helps me, you know, knowing that my kid's got a chance of being okay. You know, if my kid turns out like you, I'm happy as could be. So
Yeah, definitely.
with
I
the
mean,
struggles that he's
definitely
going through,
there's, but I was done. Like by the time he found me, I was at my wit's end. Like the reason he found me is because I had attempted suicide. Like I intentionally OD'd into a full bathtub face first. And the only reason that he found me is my dog woke him up. My dog knew something was wrong and jumped on top of him and woke him up and made him go to the bathroom. And then he found me and pulled me out of the bathtub. I was blue. He said I had blood coming out of my mouth. He had to give me CPR and then he was able to revive me.
you're saying not a Kodak moment.
I was not. It was not. And that, I hate that I did that to him. I don't have much of a memory of it. I don't. Um, I know that I did it. I know I did it intentionally. Um, I don't remember him pulling me out. I don't remember much of that evening. I remember.
Well, you know that it was years ago.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about it now.
Well, I was gonna say, you know how you know it was years ago?
How?
If it happened recently, you'd have a video of it.
Oh Jesus.
So,
He does have a video of me of being high. One time I took some Xanax pills that were laced with fentanyl. I didn't know it, and he took video of me and he was like, "This is what you are on these pills," and I was like, "Holy shit, I didn't know. I
yeah,
honestly didn't know."
yeah, and keep that one to yourself. I'm just saying that you know that'd be something I'd joke with you about it, but I'd never show that on here. You know, I
No,
I have
no,
no,
he wouldn't
I
know.
have a couple of those with my son. You know, at times where he was high, and I taped him so I could show him how he was acting. You know, I was
Hmm.
you know because then you know I was trying to understand, and so I just wanted to show him, hey, this is how you look. You know, in other words, you look like a different human. You look like a different person when you're high.
Yeah.
And those are you know even now I won't show him those videos now because you know in the end I don't want him to see that side of him.
Hmm.
You know I don't want him to ever forget, but I don't want him to understand. I don't want him to ever, I don't want him to have to you know see that and you know feel that that's what he is in life.
Right. And he can come out of it too. Like and it's something that was kind of crazy that I didn't really realize until just this last weekend because it was my birthday. For my birthday, for some reason I've been losing a lot of weight recently. And I've dropped like 2 sizes and I haven't like tried to do anything to do that. I don't know why. But I don't eat a lot. Like I eat like a bird. I don't like I take 4 bites of any meal and I'm full. And I usually eat maybe once a day, which I know isn't super healthy, but I don't take in a lot of calories is what I'm trying to say. Um and anyways, I've been dropping weight and we went and my husband for my birthday took me and bought me all new clothes because none of my clothes were fitting me anymore. So that was really fun. And I was trying to figure out, what is different between back then because I look at pictures of me like a couple years ago and I was just giant and I still wasn't eating back then because my life was drugs. Like I didn't eat anything. Like if I could spend $5 on a Subway sandwich or $5 on heroin, it was going to be heroin every single time. Um and but I was giant back then. And it dawned on me that it was because of all the shit I was injecting into my body on a daily basis. Like an hourly basis almost. I mean, not hourly, but multiple times a day. I was injecting this poison into my body. Of course I was this swollen balloon that was unhealthy. Like no shit. So, yeah, it was a realization that I just kind of came to this weekend actually, which is
Yeah.
I learn something new a lot. Like I really do. Like it's been 3.5 years, and there are a lot of things that I realize every day that are new that I'm like, oh wow, I look back on this now and this looks completely different. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Nancy was asking how my kid was doing. Today, me and my wife went to a town in Georgia to do some drone videos for some hurricane cleanup. I'm assuming it was for an insurance company. And we saw a car like what my son's driving. And, I mentioned to my wife, we know that my son's got over $1,000 in the bank now. He's doing good. And we talked
Mhm.
about we would never trust him with a vehicle and $1,000 in the bank. We know where he'd be and we know what he'd be doing.
Right.
And now, he does when he got that car, he's like, oh, I got to get another job, because he wants to fix it up and wants to, how a young kid is with a car. And
Exactly.
and so I'm just saying he's a completely different person than he was, and his priorities are completely different, and that's great for today. Every day is a challenge, every day is a goal for him.
Hmm.
And I called him this evening, and I called him, and I told my wife, I said I'm gonna call him because I don't know if he's involved in sexual debauchery, hustling to make money, or going to church.
Hmm.
I'm just saying he's a mess, and that's the beauty of that kid is he's always been everything all at once, and he's just got to learn to focus it. But
Right.
you doing what you're doing, you see a different side of the world that some of these people aren't seeing. When I watch this video, I'm looking at it from the paramedics and the police officers' point of view. In other words,
Hmm.
hey, what are they having to witness? Where you can
Right.
actually see it from the other person's point of view. Not that you've been in that situation, but you've been in similar.
Oh,
And
absolutely. I've never been woken up by paramedics before, thank God.
no, what and see, since I'll call her out twice since Jane is walking up in the arms, the paramedics working on her, and they took her to the hospital, and it was a loving moment for her. In other words, it was a positive moment for her, because in the end, getting woken up by a police officer, I'm look, I'm not a big fan of police. I think there are plenty of police officers that are great. There are plenty of individuals that are great, and I think we have to have them as a country. But I think as a group, they can be,
Hmm.
they can be heavy-handed. They can be rough. Um, I think they would be. I think I would be 10 times worse than any police officer I've ever seen. So, I got to give them that credit for it. But we hold them to an impossible standard. We hold them to, and it's a standard that most of us could never imagine having. But waking up to a paramedic is better than waking up to a police officer. And so
Right. Absolutely.
normally,
Absolutely. And most of the time that the police officers aren't wanting to hurt or arrest you. They just want to get you help. Like I would be very shocked if they arrest this guy. Like I hope they don't. I hope they get him help. But and if that's their intention behind arresting him, then I do support that. But yeah, I'd be interested to see. I don't know how this ends.
yeah. Well,
I don't
and
know what
also
they do.
25 years ago, police officers could, in the end, police officer could rough you up or take your weed or take, something simple
Hmm.
and send you on your
Yeah.
way. You got,
And now they have a more understanding about addiction and what it is, and
but
it's
there's also
different.
the CYA part of it. 25 years ago, if you got pulled over 2 miles from your house and you were drunk, they'd say, hey, stop being an idiot and go home and, cut it out.
Right.
Whereas now, if they pull you over, if anything, they've got to put you in jail. They've got to do this. They've got to do that. There was one today. I'm almost certain it was today on Judge Fleischer's where they never, they took the drugs or they charged them with drugs, but they never took the drugs. They never tested them, and
Oh, that's stupid.
they were given a court order to test them, and they still didn't test it.
Wow.
And so they're probably going to dismiss the charges, which is great. They should dismiss the charges if they can't do their part. But the officer
Yeah.
also, they need to find out where did the officer not follow his, not follow his directions, not follow his, his protocols.
Yeah, that seems really weird.
Imagine how much work that'd be for a police officer. Every time you pulled someone over, you had to stick your hands in their dirty pockets and everything that went through, you had to inventory.
Yeah, well, I can imagine not only that, you have to do that, but then on the flip side, you have to do all the humanitarian stuff, which is like picking up dead bodies off the road that drunk drivers have killed, or dealing with overdosing people in a parking lot like this. Like they have to deal with a very human side of things that they see some rough shit that I don't think we give them credit for that that hurts them. Like I couldn't handle that shit emotionally. No
No,
way. No, no
and
way.
I've got a family member who is retired military,
Mm,
and he's having a hard time with his mental health. He's having a
mm,
hard time with his mental health, and what he did in the military, he can't talk about. He's,
right.
you know, I'd love to give you some awesome stories. I don't think Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger could play his part in a movie,
Wow.
but I don't know what he did. I don't know what he
Mm,
did in the military, but he's having, you know, he's having mental health struggles, and he's got a wife and kids, and he's having a hard time right now. And I keep, you know, my general answer is to give him a break, because we don't know what he went through. We don't know what sort of trauma that he's dealing with.
right.
But, you know, I'm not asking him what he did, because in the end, I'm not the guy to talk to about that. But he's, you know, military and law enforcement and stuff, they see some stuff that they will never get a chance to let go of. Now,
Yeah.
my grandfather was in the Air Force, and he was down at Homestead Air Base and had to deal with the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was fueling up, you know, he fueled up the airplanes for that,
Hmm.
and he was messed up from it. And
Yeah.
my history lessons taught me that the Cuban Missile Crisis was nothing more of a political thing than a military thing. But
Right.
for him, it messed him up, and that's a whole nother
That's
level,
really
getting
sad.
into the idea of, you know, the mental health aspect of it. And of course, he was a bad drunk. He died, you know, due to a drinking incident.
Yeah.
But he was, you know, well known for drinking his pain away. Fozzie, he was the Mickey
Mm.
Gilley fan I was telling you about.
Mm.
And so you're too young to know who Mickey Gilley is, aren't you, Allie?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Depends on what reference are they? Like I might not know no matter what.
Mickey Gilley was an old country singer. Not he was
Oh
old,
wow.
but
I'm
I'm
surprised
talking
I don't
about
know
a
that
time
actually.
ago. He was an old or a long time ago country singer that was
Oh.
just very famous and just had a real strong following.
Oh, I'm
And
surprised I
so,
don't know that one. Oh,
but anyways, let's get back to this. Let's
let's
get
do it.
Huh? Maybe you wrecked your car. You hurt? Here, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, Dwayne. Keep holding his wrist. Come on, Dwayne.
Dwayne, we need you to get out of the car for us, boss. You want to put this closer? You're right there.
Suspect staff doesn't know it was going to be a Stephanie. Oh, because she don't want to know. We have no description or word of that. Just saying he was walking out to the car. There you go, buddy.
You're good, Dwayne.
There you go.
We have a copy additional. We're cranking around now, so. Get there.
There you go.
Let me grab that,
Yeah, I'll get it. Hey, Dwayne, you know where you're at?
One, you can add my son. 15 to 14.
I'm just gonna make it quiet there for a second. That's almost embarrassing how his body just shook whenever he hit the ambulance.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's gone. I'm just saying his mind and body is not connected right now.
Right. They usually snap out of it. Like, I'm kind of surprised that he's this out of it. Like, what the hell did he take? Like, if he took a Xanax that was laced with fentanyl, and that was his OD reaction, that might be it.
White powder, maybe? I don't know. Does Xanax come in powder? Or does Xanax come in powder, or just a bar?
No, it's usually a pill, but you could crush it up and snort it if you wanted to. Yeah, I would usually just chew it and eat it, but you could if you really wanted to.
Yeah, and see, I was working on ambulance whenever they started with those new striker stretchers. Those things
are nice, huh?
Yeah, they.
Yeah, you don't have to do all the work. You just push buttons. That's rad for you guys.
Oh no, yeah, no. The ones we had didn't have buttons; they had hydraulics, and so that was nice. The hydraulics.
That's awesome.
No. Did that one just have a button?
Maiko?
See you later, Maiko. Thank you so much. Did that thing have buttons? I see the green light on it.
I think it just had buttons where you just push a button and it goes up and down and in and out and does all the cool things by just pushing a button. Yeah, it was really nice.
Okay, we got 6 minutes left.
Okay, cool.
You had to drink, bub? A lot? Okay. Did you do any other drugs?
Call back. I don't think we're gonna put any of that information.
Huh? No? Okay. Huh? Listen to what?
That was another crazy thing working on the ambulance.
We'll just check and make sure you're breathing all right, okay, buddy? We gotta make sure you're doing okay, okay?
Working on the ambulance, everybody gets stripped down, and I think that was one of the few things that just really upset me. I'm a wimp anyways. Like I said, I'm a big cover my ass type of person, and when you'd have someone, you get in the back of the ambulance, the person has to strip down, and whenever someone would want to make a comment about the person,
right,
it wasn't the funnest part of the job. Because like right about now, when you've got the person stripped down trying to work on them, this would be the part when the neighbor comes up and climbs in and wants to know what's going on.
Of course it is. You get the nosy ass neighbors showing up. You're like, what's going on in here?
Yep. And I think the worst time we had was actually with law enforcement. There were sometimes we had to tell law enforcement, get out. This ain't your office. It's our office.
Yeah, now you have assholes that show up with camera or with their phones trying to record everything. Ugh.
Oh, I would have lost my job years ago. I'm saying if that world would have been, I couldn't survive in that world.
I bet I wouldn't either. No way. I don't have patience for people like that. I absolutely do not.
No.
So.
Nope.
Talk to the police?
I'll talk to you in a minute, man. I hear you. We'll take care of that in a little bit, all right, man?
Let me see his arm, buddy.
We have to call it the department here. We're trying to
Hold close, okay? Hear me? Hold still for me.
Is anybody hurt?
Nope, just you.
Needles out, okay?
Awesome.
Hang tight, bud.
I'm fine. I just want to tell you.
I know, but let the medics do their thing. I don't want to get in their way.
There's not no problem.
Well,
They got to do with that. Everything I do. I just want to tell you something.
all right, what do you want to tell me?
I'm on probation.
Okay.
The truth comes out.
Sorry.
I don't deal with probation or anything, but you're gonna have to take it up with your PO, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
He's worried about getting ratted out to his PO.
I don't remember the accident.
I know, you blacked out before the accident. What's your social, Dwayne?
North
Right.
I thought I heard say Xanax.
I understand where you gotta have them.
Well, we're gonna get to the hospital and we're gonna get you treatment, alright?
Let me get you look at, okay? I just want you to know that I'm trying my best to get my life in order. I have a good job. My kids are supposed to come see me tomorrow.
Well, there's a good chance that's still gonna happen.
I understand.
You got any health problems, buddy? It's Dwayne.
D-U-A-N-T-H.
Hey, Dwayne.
30.
What's your birthday? Where you living at, buddy? You got any health problems?
I'm allergic to Tylenol.
Okay. Codeine or anything?
I'm just Tylenol. I know makes me
Okay.
What's your phone number, real quick? Alright. Hey, your girlfriend is perfectly fine, okay?
I just proposed.
No shit.
Aww.
Did she say yes? Well, congratulations, man. This is probably not how you intended to spend the evening, but...
I'm sorry. I don't plan on making contact service.
Wow.
Oh, that's fine.
Alright.
You know.
You good?
I'll follow you guys.
All right, Dwayne.
I'm gonna cut it off there. What did he say? Did he propose to her?
Yeah, he proposed to her tonight and she accepted. So now they're engaged. And he was like, he was on probation. Said he's getting his life together. So I wonder if this was like just an accidental, I mean, he probably shouldn't have taken what he took, but I don't think he necessarily intended to OD is what I'm trying to
Hey,
say.
are you? Do you
yeah.
think that you'll overdose in the next month or two?
Me?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. I
Do you
should
think
hope
if you
not.
were on probation, you would take random pills or random anything from a stranger?
I was. I did.
Okay. Common sense. Alli.
No. No, absolutely not. No. Now that I know what I know, absolutely, I was actually kind of hoping that they'd give me a second shot at probation because I would ace it this time because I know what to do. But
Right.
yeah, no, back then I wasn't interested in any of that. I wasn't gonna
Yes.
get drug
So
tested.
what I'm
No
getting at is
way.
I'm not. He's got to figure it out, and
Mm-hmm.
and he's not going to figure it out on his own because when he's proposing to his girl, trying to get his life in order, he's self-sabotaging by doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, he still has the mentality of, oh, I can do shit recreationally. I don't have an addiction. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
So
But
I don't know. I could be
but
wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
but see, I'm such a prude. I look. I think alcohol is poison. I think alcohol is probably more of a drug than anything else.
No,
And
absolutely. He shouldn't. If he's on probation, he probably has a no drinking clause in his as part of his probation. He
he
probably shouldn't be drinking either. So
well, and there's probably something that says he shouldn't be drinking and driving.
oh, absolutely.
And if you
I'm
pass
sure.
out
I'm
from
sure
drinking and driving,
that's not gonna work out well.
you probably shouldn't tell the paramedics, yeah, I drank too much.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so I don't know. But you know what? I think I'd rather go to jail or go to the hospital for something than face the consequences of a proposal. So in
Well,
the
he
end,
seems pretty happy about it. He asked her, she said yes. So
no. He's happy now that he knows he's about to violate probation.
You're so evil.
Yeah. So no, he got out of this one.
Yeah, dodged a bullet. This one. Yep. Run, boy, run.
Right. So now he could go back and say, well, with all that's going on, I need to get myself in order. I'm not good enough for you. Or he could go back and say, hey, you're no good for me. So he's got his way out now.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not so lucky. I got, 26 years in, I can't go back and say buyer's remorse.
Yep. Nope. And you can't get out for time. You can't get out what early for Good behavior. Yeah, that's what it
Yep.
is. Time
Hey,
served for good behavior.
does Narcan work on roofies? Asking for a
No,
friend.
no, it does not. It does not. You have to ride that one out.
Yep. Yep. So so Narcan is only going to be for opioids.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it doesn't work on anything else. Like if he took a laced Xanax, he'd still be feeling the effects of a Xanax, which would make him really sleepy and lethargic if that's what he took. So that could be what it was. And he didn't know it was laced, and that's why he's ODing because he has no tolerance for that. So I mean that happened to me. I didn't know it was laced. I didn't OD because I had a tolerance, but yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely was high off my ass.
yeah, but see that's what I guess that's what's going on. Saying maybe he was roofied.
He might have been, but that wouldn't have, yeah, that wouldn't account for him coming out of it when the Narcan hit. So he'd still be out of it. Like that wouldn't have caused any change. And being roofied wouldn't make you, it makes you unconscious, but it doesn't make you stop breathing.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So let me ask you about being roofied because I'm a kid. I was around in the '90s, and that's when all that was going on. Why would a guy? Well, why would a guy get roofied at a bar if he's there with a girl?
No idea. You never know these days, though. You never know. Or maybe it was intended for a girl and he grabbed the drink, but I don't think that's the case here. Like that doesn't track with the sequence of events. So I don't think that's a possibility.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm going to finish it up.
okay.
And just say, hey, everybody, thank you for your patience over the last couple of days. I live down in Florida, and I had to run to Spartanburg, South Carolina on Tuesday, and then today, me and my wife did a drone job for over 1,800 acres in Georgia, and
Oh
I'll just say that the town we went to in Georgia, the town was called Vidalia. It's like Vidalia onions.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was the town we went to, and we did a 1,800 acre farm. And going through the towns around there were still vehicles and buildings turned over. There
Mm-hmm.
were roofs collapsed on homes. It looked like the
Oh
hurricane was just
God.
there a couple days ago, and so
Oh,
you can
that's so
see that there's
sad.
that town is suffering. That the town of Baxley, Georgia, and around there, they were suffering. I'm fairly
Mm.
certain we don't always know who the customer is,
Mm-hmm.
and Victoria is just an ass.
I know. She always throws you off your game.
Yes, she does. Did you see what she did?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah,
You're
but
coming in loud and clear.
yeah, and so, but a lot of times we do it for insurance, and I'm certain there was a hurricane there. I'm certain there was tornadoes there in the hurricane,
Yeah, sounds
and
like it.
so
And
yeah,
but the hurricane spawned a lot of tornadoes that in that whole area, so that would not surprise me at all. That's so sad.
yeah, but
Yeah, Victoria, it was your fault.
yeah, yeah, those towns were definitely suffering. But
I'm sorry
we
about that.
we did all that, and everything worked out great. But I missed the shows, and it's odd how 2 days of missing the shows.
Feels like a long time.
I literally felt like I let people down. I felt like, oh, I wasn't doing my job. And then last night, y'all were giving me hell on Discord.
Yeah.
And so, look, love you guys. I really do love the audience that we have. I think we're starting to build something good. I really want to see this thing grow. And, it's obviously not for money. YouTube's not what it should be with money, but it's building a good community. I'm getting to learn a lot about my son. I'm getting to learn a lot about myself doing these shows with you, Alli, and I really appreciate it.
Yes, I'm having a great time. I love you guys so much. I actually have a really maybe kind of sweet story. I had my first random fan today, like a person that have never interacted with before, I've never seen before. Um, and it was actually, I hope you're still in the chat. It was True Crime Chats. Came into
Yes.
Biggin and was like, "Oh my God, I've been watching all of your lives. You're so great!" Like, and I've never interacted with this person before, so that like seriously made my whole day. I was like, oh my goodness, somebody knows who I am. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry but that meant the world to me. So thank you guys for being here and supporting us. It's awesome. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Nancy, Idaho Wiggles, Jane, Thank you, everybody. Saffron, I'm going to call it Saffron.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, Saffron, is nice to meet you tonight. Yeah, Big Tiff Dog, I like YouTube as a communication method. I like YouTube as a tool for communication. I don't think I would ever consider YouTube as a good way of making money. I just, to me, it's inconsistent at best and evil at worst.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to communicate, and it's a good way to get there. Fozzie, I'm going to go ahead and update. I meant to call her this evening to ask if it was okay, and I didn't, but I'll go ahead and just ask. Go ahead and just tell her. She's in the hospital for something wrong with her pancreas. Jay's a really good person, really great.
She has pancreatitis is what she has.
Yeah. Something about a pancreas. I've never seen one, so I'm not sure they exist, but she's saying she's got one.
Yeah, my father actually had a really bad bout with it. We actually almost lost him to it. It's basically when your pancreas, the layman's way of explaining to you, your pancreas controls like your enzymes that break down your food, and if it overworks itself, those enzymes seep out into your organs and start breaking down your organs. So it's really bad and it's extremely painful. And most people come out are either diabetic going in or definitely diabetic coming out. So it's bad. Like it hit my dad at 40, and he was in the hospital for 2 weeks with it. It was terrible. So I wish her all the best of luck. We love you. Please get well. We love you so much.
And Jay's a really good person. Make sure to show her love and just reach out to her. She's a great person. And Jay's biggest problem is she won't complain. You know, if you call her and talk to her, she's always okay. And then you go, okay, what room in your house are you at? And she's like, oh, I'm at the hospital. I'm like, come on, if you're at the hospital, you got to tell me what, tell me you're hurting, tell me you're feeling bad. But she's just such a trooper. You know, she's just always, she keeps me in a good mood. And so it's hard to try to, go back and, hey, try to help her be in a good mood. I asked her if she needed anything. She said she's great. And so thank you, Victoria, for coming on the show. Victoria scared me to death. She put mute. I thought I was muted again.
She likes to play games.
She does, and she does the best. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I actually might have opening music for this channel or closing music for this channel. Me and Alli's got to do some negotiating, and we're gonna fix y'all with some music to go in and out. Again, with YouTube. You can't play music that is enjoyable because somebody gets paid for it, and so you have to find music that's unbearable. And so we're trying to find something that's unbearable but tolerable.
Yeah.
And so that's the best way to describe it, right?
Absolutely.
All right, you guys have a great night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.